Here in the Arizona Republic AZ Central Newsroom, I'm Richard Rellis here with columnist Bob Robb. And there are talking heads and politicians out there who will say that the killing of Iran General Soleimani is the product of an erratic, irrational chief executive, that our president is just making foreign policy up as he goes along. You, though, see not necessarily a stable genius, but a through line of consistency in this act.
And my biggest concern is that dismissing this as a crazy Trump move undermines having the kind of discussion we need to have about our Middle East policy. There's a lot that Trump has done subsequent to the killing that has been crazy Trump stuff. But the actual decision to take out Soleimani was a logical consequences of our current policy.
And you say he's been consistent just dealing with Iran.
He has consistently bought into the neoconservative view that in the Middle East, the source of all trouble is Iran, and the principal objective of U.S. foreign policy in the region should be to constrain Iran. So we withdrew from the nuclear deal. We put on sanctions. The sanctions were having huge consequences in creating domestic unrest in Iran. Iran responds by escalating attacks on U.S. military facilities and storming the U.S. embassy in Baghdad. There was every reason to believe that it would continue. Soleimani is the chief architect of that and is, by all reports, unusually skilled. So taking him out within those contexts signaled, it degraded the capability of the Iranians to do those kind of attacks by taking out their chief architect. And it sent a message of seriousness of purpose, that the Iranians couldn't assume that our response to escalation would simply be to take inconsequential action against military facilities or unimportant people. So that might serve as deterrence. And attributing it to crazy Trump, I think, avoids the fact that while it made sense given where we were in the region, we ought not to be there in the region. And that's the discussion we need to have.
Right, that maybe we could take some solace under this view that the president didn't act irrationally, but you think the acting rationally still takes us into a place where we shouldn't.
Right, I believe we need to extricate ourselves from the Middle East, and this is obviously a step to get much deeper involved and has all sorts of risks to national security interests.
And as always, there's a lot more. This discussion continues on in the column, which for this area of the world is important we know as much as we can and think about it as much as we can.